Hello and welcome to Forum. I'm Nick Ferrari and this is the topical debate show where the people ask the questions. Now, there was certainly no shortage of items on Barack Obama's to-do list when he settled into the job as President of the United States. Tackling the global financial crisis, kick-starting the US domestic economy, salvaging the remains of Wall Street, restoring America's image overseas, finding an exit strategy for Iraq, facing up to North Korea, and inventing an American National Health Service were among just a few. But for many, the issue that could truly define his presidency is the one that makes some of those others look like nothing more troublesome than a tricky bit of homework, bringing peace to the Middle East. To discuss all this, an exciting panel. To my right, Carol Gould, US commentator, political writer and novelist. To her right, Harold Hookie Walker, Britain's former ambassador to Iraq. To my left, Jihad Makdisi, a Syrian embassy spokesman. And to his left, Abdul Bari Atwan, editor-in-chief of Al-Quds Al-Arabi and the author of The Secret History of Al-Qaeda. Welcome to you all. Gentleman with a grey shirt, right there, sir.
It's very possible, even according to some Israeli NGOs, that actually the two-state solution has already been or about to be buried just by the sheer scale of settlement construction, the amount of bypass roads in the West Bank which have sliced up the territory and made a Palestinian state economically impossible. So how is Obama going to react to the death of a two-state solution and find other creative solutions such as a single-state solution or a binational solution?
Okay, so you're assuming that's already gone. Okay, more questions in a moment. Let's come to Jihad Makdisi. First of all, we've touched on this a little bit, but let's go back again. 8 years of Clinton, good work, undone by 8 years of Bush. This is a huge paraphrase of what the gentleman said. That's a lot to undo. In a way, we write off the two-state solution. We write off. Yes. Where does he go then? Where does Obama go after that?
I think, I'll tell you something, how to implement not the Arab Peace Initiative, also the UN Security Council resolutions. We know Saddam Hussein broke UN Security Council resolutions. What the Americans did, they sent their warships, B-52, and they changed the regime in Iraq, and they introduced the democracy, which everybody is praising here. So now, the two-state solution, today, George Mitchell, the American envoy to the Middle East, said United States prefer the two-state solutions. How can you have two-state solution while the new government of Israel saying there is no two-state solutions, there is just economic peace? We have to work for economic peace with the Palestinians. So I believe the only solution now, when you have 500,000 Jewish settlers on the tiny West Banks, and when they actually now, besieging the whole of Jerusalem by these settlements, the only solution now is, to have one state solution, bi-national state, for Jews, for Arabs, for Muslims, for Christians, to live together. Okay. Like the way they are living in the United States, the way they are living in South Africa. Okay. Why should we have just a state only for Jews, based on religion, which is extremely wrong?
And yes, sir. Gentleman in a check shirt. Sir.
Yes, thank you. Do you think that Obama will be able to adopt a more principled position towards Israel rather than one that just solely protects Israel's interests?
All right, let's come back to that Israel question. Jihad Makdisi, a principled position?
Well, of course, if the U.S. Congress is paying $3 billion per year, equivalent to $500 to each Israeli citizen, so he has the leverage if he wants. And if he decided not to confront the Israelis and their lobby, at least he can leave the European to use their own influence. Don't block the European of, the EU has a very big trade leverage on the Israeli. So leave the European work if you are unable to confront this lobby. But certainly Israel is a strategic burden for Obama. And it will be really interesting to see how the new administration will deal.
All those Americans driving around in their SUVs guzzling oil. And the oil revenues have always come into the Middle East because of the Americans buying oil and using their cars.
You're running out of road in that SUV. You're running out of road.
Well,
Sum it up.
Yeah, there we are. That it's quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo. The European will buy it. It's all right. Yeah.